don't suggest this ain't play this game. Change yourself, they'll change it out. Don't forget all the players involved. Don't forget you're not the only guy. Yeah, heard what they did to that bearded guy. Guys love to kill and they love to lie. Gotta be strong if you want to survive. Gotta be wrong just to see the wild. Why everybody's fucked though, everybody tries. How we all end up stuck with our own lives. If you live long enough, you will see both sides. It's gonna hurt a bit, but sure as shit, see the words of it. We all get here, problems words can't fix. Oh, it's a trip you don't wanna miss. Cause we all feel weak, won't call it quits. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Ain't just me that feel like this. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Those who know, we don't know shit. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Everybody dies, this and it. Put your hands up now, everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live, everybody dies, this and it. Hope by now we can all agree that everybody sucks to a different degree. Don't be the fuck that says, oh, except me. They're the very worst type of human being. That's rude of me. It's true, that's mean, but I don't believe in free will. UCC, while I feel some I'm meant to be. Full of excuses, stay away, please. One can teach a dog how to shit in private, but one can't teach a god how to kill its pride. It's more than mad and rather dangerous. Nobody wins in a war of anger. Won't move forward till everybody gets. Nothing just happens, it's cause and effect. We see the pattern of how they connect, or blame boogeymen in our karmic debts. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but fear does shit that's hard to detect it, harder to correct, but I guess I digress. The whole point is sometimes you gotta live, not just live, but really fucking live. Don't miss your shot, no lie, who did? Y'all feel weak, won't call it quits. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Ain't just me that feel like this. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Those who know, we don't know shit. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Everybody dies, this and it. Put your hands up now, everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live, everybody dies, this and it. Come on now. Don't act like you ain't fucking weird, man. We all feel weak, won't call it quits. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Ain't just me that feel like this. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Those who know, we don't know shit. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Everybody dies, this and it. Put your hands up now, everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live, everybody dies, this and it. May not get about lost a bit. It's all stay calm when the spark is lit. Then everybody's on. Who's this? And try to stay calm, but yeah, to fuck with them. Oh yeah, we all got issues. And don't be fooled, they be used against you. Only you decide your true potential. Whatever that means, these rules is mental. And rules is lame. I don't suggest this ain't play this game. Change yourself, they'll change it out. Don't forget all the players involved. Don't forget you're not the only guy. Yeah, heard what they did to that bearded guy. Guys love to kill and they love to lie. Gotta be strong if you want to survive. Gotta be wrong just to see the wild. Why everybody's fucked though, everybody tries. How we all end up stuck with our own lives. If you live long enough, you will see both sides. It's gonna hurt a bit, but sure as shit, see the words of it. We all get here, problems words can't fix. Oh, it's a trip you don't wanna miss. Cause we all feel weak, won't call it quits. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Ain't just me that feel like this. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Those who know, we don't know shit. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Everybody dies, this and it. Put your hands up now, everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live, everybody dies, this and it. Hope by now we can all agree that everybody sucks to a different degree. Don't be the fuck that says, oh, except me. They're the very worst type of human being. That's rude of me. It's true, that's mean, but I don't believe in free will. UCC, while I feel some I'm meant to be. Full of excuses, stay away, please. One can teach a dog how to shit in private, but one can't teach a god how to kill its pride. It's more than mad and rather dangerous. Nobody wins in a war of anger, won't move forward till everybody gets. Nothing just happens, it's cause and effect. We see the pattern of how they connect, or blame boogeymen in our karmic debts. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but fear does shit that's hard to detect it, harder to correct, but I guess I digress. The whole point is sometimes you gotta live, not just live, but really fucking live. Don't miss your shot, no lie, who did? Yeah, I feel weak, one Carla quits. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Ain't just me that feel like this. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Those who know, no, we don't know shit. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Everybody dies, this and it. Put your hands up now, everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, 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 everybody live. Hey, 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 everybody live, everybody dies, this and it. Come on now, don't act like you ain't fucking weird, man. Yeah, I feel weak, one Carla quits. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Ain't just me that feel like this. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Those who know, no, we don't know shit. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Everybody dies, this and it. Put your hands up now, everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live, everybody dies, this and it. May not get about lost a bit. It's all stay calm when spark is lit, then everybody's on. Who's this? And try to stay calm, but yeah, the fuck with them. Oh yeah, we all got issues, and don't be fooled, they be used against you. Only you decide your true potential. Whatever that means, these rules is mental. And rules is lame, I don't suggest it's how you play this game. Change yourself, they'll change it out. Don't forget all the players involved. Don't forget you're not the only guy. Yeah, heard what they did to that bearded guy. Guys love to kill and they love to lie. Gotta be strong if you want to survive. Gotta be wrong just to see the wild. Why everybody's fucked though, everybody tries. How we all end up stuck with our own lives. If you live long enough, you will see both sides. It's gonna hurt a bit, but sure as shit, see the words of it. We all get here, problems words can't fix. Oh, it's a trip you don't wanna miss. Cause we all feel weak, one Carla quits. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Ain't just me that feel like this. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Those who know, no, we don't know shit. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Everybody dies, this and it. Put your hands up now, everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live, everybody dies, this and it. Hope by now we can all agree that everybody sucks to a different degree. Don't be the fuck that says, oh, except me. They're the very worst type of human being. That's rude of me. It's true, that's mean, but I don't believe in free will. UCC, while I feel some I'm meant to be. Full of excuses, stay away, please. One can teach a dog how to shit in private, but one can't teach a god how to kill its pride. It's more than mad and rather dangerous. Nobody wins in a war of anger, won't move forward till everybody gets. Nothing just happens, it's cause and effect. We see the pattern of how they connect, or blame boogeymen in our karmic debts. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but fear does shit that's hard to detect it, harder to correct, but I guess I digress. The whole point is sometimes you gotta live, not just live, but really fucking live. Don't miss your shot, no lie, who did? Yeah, I feel weak, one Carla quits. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Ain't just me that feel like this. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Those who know, no, we don't know shit. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Everybody dies, this and it. Put your hands up now, everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live, everybody dies, this and it. Come on now. Don't act like you ain't fucking weird, man. We all feel weak, won't call it quits. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Ain't just me that feel like this. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Those who know, we don't know shit. Everybody trips, yeah, everybody trips. Everybody dies, this and it. Put your hands up now, everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody live, everybody dies, this and it. May not get about lost a bit. It's all say calm, a spark is lit, then everybody's on. Who's this?
I wear shorts every time I sit down. It's just like,
oh yeah, y'all got issues and don't be fooled. Only you decide your true potential. Whatever that means, these rules is mental.
Hello, people. Ari, welcome back.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, good man, good man. Ari, we're gonna be learning about Enlil today. Enlil today. How the fuck you doing, man? Hope that storm keeps missing you. And Apollo, hello, sister. Yeah, we're gonna learn about. Oh, you hear that?
Yeah.
What is he saying?
Do you guys hear this?
This is my son in the background.
He won't go to sleep.
Jeez Louise, guy.
Go to sleep.
Little saucy baby. Sauce. My baby's got the sauce. He ain't ready for the floating head for the win.
I'm a Doulahan.
He's the best floating head I've ever had.
What?
I said he's the best floating head I've ever had.
I resent that remark.
Well, you've never floated and done it.
Well, a floating head is no head.
In what sense of the word?
As in not having a body to go along with your head.
Because like,
look at him.
It's also like, where does it go?
Well, mine would probably just go, to the back of your cheeks. But somebody with a real, like Willem Dafoe, he may, fall out the bottom of your neck there.
Well, he goes to the...
You got the thrusty. Oh, my God. It's still storming, but it's not hitting hard enough. Oh, my God. I am not mature enough.
Are you in...
No, he's in Canada.
Canada?
That's right, buddy.
Yeah, that's close enough.
Where in Canada, eh?
Don't worry about it, friend. I think he's his sister's in the Toronto area. I found out he's got two sisters. One's in the Toronto area, but I think he kind of intentionally left out which part of Canada.
Are you French Canada or not French Canada?
We're in the same time zone, so my guess is
he's French Canada.
Well, in Toronto's right above us, but I think maybe Quebec is even farther northeast. Let me see. You know what?
Isn't Toronto
Canada map?
Because I've watched the shows about Canada,
and I know it's not Canada. Oh, one brother and one sister. That's right. But one of those sisters lives in Toronto, right? Come on, tell me I got part of it right.
The
Sisters in America.
Oh my God. I am fucking things up. Maybe I misunderstood you. Are you in Toronto? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so Ontario's right above us, and then Quebec is even more northeast of that. Yeah, look at me.
Is Toronto a province?
No, Toronto is a city. And it's in Ontario, I believe.
Quebec is a city and a province?
Quebec is a what'd you call it? Like a region?
Province, is what you said.
Okay, bam. See, look, I'm getting the whole story together. And thank you to having your roommate join us last night too, Apollo. That's awesome. Join the Discord. Okay, so he's in Canada, but not Toronto. His brother's in Toronto. Okay, I'm getting the full picture. And I'm this close to having a social.
Nice.
I'm just kidding.
Did you get those? Did you get the 3 numbers on the back of the card? Those are the important ones.
Okay, so territories. Okay, so there's not that many damn territories. Let's see. Yes! That is tonight's whole fucking thing. And your roommate's gonna join the free company as well. That is amazing. That is amazing. I'm so excited about it. Sorry, I'm just looking at maps of Canada. Because now I care.
I don't know anything about
Nova Scotia? That's
Nova Scotia?
Of Canada.
That's Canada?
It looks like a New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, right above Maine.
Just watch Letterkenny. You'll learn a lot about Canada.
Well, I dare say I watch a lot of Letterkenny, bud.
I've seen some Letterkenny. I've seen a lot of Letterkenny.
You got just watch the whole thing, and you'll know every single thing about Canada you need to know. And it's pretty lit.
They're like Southerners, but nicer, from what I gather.
Just country folks.
I don't think it's that. I think it is that they're nice, but it's just that like they can convince you in a nice way to do what you want. They don't have to be mean.
Charismatic.
Yeah.
Maybe. So maybe they're not nice. Canadians are just high charisma. Good for you, Ari.
I think that's what it is.
And Apollo, I didn't know my 50 states until very recently.
I know them all too well.
I know like Europe better than I know America. It's stupid.
I know D&D better than I know America.
You say DB?
D&D.
D&D? Hey, but I know, you know exactly your way around the Eorzea, I bet.
I could take you straight through the Feywild. It'd be nuts.
Boom. I could take you to the Feywild in real life.
I could too if we had the right sacrifices.
Love you, princess. Come here. I'm gonna get my beautiful daughter on here. Is your hair gonna disappear though? Damn it. Love you. Say goodnight to my weirdos, my other weirdos.
Love you.
Weirdos unite. Almost had a nip slip. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with your arms. You can't go too high.
That's right. It's very true.
You need to get some nip tape. Like, you should get like a little like picture. So like if it happens, like it's just like a secret picture.
That's funny. I'm gonna get like a picture of Joe Biden on my nipples. Just in case they lift up, it's just Joe Biden looking at you.
Just Joe Biden going.
I'll just put Joe on one, Trump on the other. The two-party system at its finest, y'all.
That'd be so funny.
Stop suppressing the nips, exactly.
No,
Well, Twitch will fucking boot us if I show the nips. So
I
in
mean-
solidarity, I don't mind it.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least it's like fair. You know, it's like it levels the playing field.
I don't mind authoritarianism if it's fair.
It means you can wear a bikini. In
I'm
a
just
hot
kidding. I'm just kidding. It means I can do what?
It means you can wear a bikini in a hot tub and no one can care.
Well, yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
it covers everything, so no one can
Yeah,
care.
absolutely.
No, that's what I'm saying. This right here, oh, my arm cuts off. If it's male presenting nips, it's okay, right? No.
I'm pretty sure Twitch
It's either
is a
all
no
the nips
for both.
or none of the nips.
Yeah.
It's all nips.
There's
No.
nothing magical
Even-
about female nips.
Well, I
Okay.
think that's a subjective thing. It's subjective. Let's poll the world here. Let's ask the world.
The world is prejudiced, okay? Fuck the world. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I just know we've had this conversation.
Get rid of my hat.
We've had this conversation a lot of times throughout the years because she's a lifelong feminist, of course. Me too. But we would talk, and there's at one point I was like, babe, listen, let me explain something, okay? Let me explain something. Men are not like actively trying to keep women covering up their chests. Like, I don't know who these weird motherfuckers are that are doing it, okay?
Kill
Like,
them.
I don't know.
Kill
Let's
them.
find them together because
I'll find them.
No, I think it is because as long as they're like forbidden, that keeps them like,
Oh, fuck that.
you know, a kink. But if you see them all the time, then it's like, oh, look. More nips.
more nips. Look at that.
BFD.
Yeah, do it. I don't care.
Yeah,
They
so-
want to keep it so that it's not like that.
Ari, my young friend Ari, don't be an anti-nipple advocate, okay? Don't be one of those guys. Apparently there's people going around saying, keep your titties to yourself, and the rest of us don't understand it.
If I
It's like,
see
let's
someone-
all just share our titties.
If I ever see a person with that sign, I'm gonna hit them.
See a bunch of dudes stomping some guys, like, what's happening? It's like, look at the sign. It's like, oh yeah, you right.
The only way I'm going to be okay with this, though, I need to say this, and I think I speak for all women when I say this. The only way that I'm going to be okay with this shit, if we normalize the titties, free the nips, is if it becomes completely normalized.
It'll take a generation or two.
Yeah.
It will, like, no gawking allowed.
Can we just
okay?
Westworld everybody?
Because you'll
No
probably,
perverts allowed.
you're so not used to it, you'll probably be gawking too.
No.
You know what I
just
mean?
Pretend like you don't fucking see it. It's that easy.
Well, if it became fully legal,
Like right now.
like today, and then
Today.
tomorrow, you know what I mean, one of our bustier friends, or just any of our female friends came busting up in the door with their titties out, it would be not, you'd be gawking, and it'd probably be a conversation.
You'd probably not be
They'd
happy.
be like, hey sis, how about we talk woman to woman? How about you don't bust in here with
I
your
just want to
titties
throw this
out?
out there. This has literally happened Okay.
Oh,
Multiple times, actually.
Well, yeah.
And one of those times, I was able to maintain a regular conversation as it was happening.
Oh, yeah. We came out, homegirl was just in the hot tub, and I was like, wait, what the fuck is happening? No. She was older, and I guess she just thought, fuck it.
If this happened, that's where the world I would just be like, I have a neck problem now.
Right.
My neck's messed up. It's just been like this since I was born.
Yeah. So now we gotta wonder. Okay, did Enlil give us humans the love of the titty? Yes, equality.
Yeah. Well, Final Fantasy has been fighting that equality forever.
Well, man, I had to ask her. I was like, "Oh, you brought a woman character to this service?" She's like, "No." He's this one weird strap. I was like, "Well, bro, you better get homie a bulge or something because, like, I mean, that would have a bulge. I mean, look at that."
Yeah.
I'm saying it's like a one piece.
Yeah. Oh.
With the like Borat would wear. Borat. Yeah. I was like, yeah.
They just have
that's so uncomfortable.
They've all got.
I can't even imagine.
They have dancers belts. They've all got dancers belts on.
Dancers belts?
Yeah. You never heard dancers belts?
No.
Is this the thing that only I know about? Great.
Enlighten us.
Fuck.
Nope. Whatever.
This makes me feel weird. It's a belt that you wear in ballet. It
like
makes it look like you're a Ken doll. Yeah, men wear them. It makes it look like you're.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like.
It kind of.
Well, it has like a even cushion.
Pocket.
I'm guessing.
It has like a pocket thing.
A pocket.
Yeah, and you kind of stick your.
Oh.
Yeah, I did.
Wadoosh.
I did ballet for.
I've seen.
You did ballet for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, I was a cheerleader for 3 years, homie. It's all good.
No,
it's all good.
I enjoyed ballet. It was fun. I did it with my cousin too, because like they had times where they had like they needed older kids to do things for like.
Yes.
And they made us wear dancers.
The
dancer's belt is uncomfortable.
It sounds like it. I kind of want to buy one though, just to, as a kink.
Pulls everything up a little bit and puts it in like a little tiny safety pocket.
Man, I might never go back.
For some reason, I've seen like hammocks, like built-in hammocks, and like boxers and stuff.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've never had a pair like that. You know what? Buy me a pair one day.
Those are athletic.
Okay.
I want to see how I fit. I want to see how I fit in them. Probably all too well.
I mean, you can't stand like just regular like briefs, so maybe a hammock.
I've learned. Briefs are okay now.
Yeah.
I love boxer briefs. I always wear boxer briefs.
All right, real quick now, Enlil. Let's get in there.
Yeah. Save this for Monday. This is Monday talk.
This is Monday talk.
We're in church, damn it!
I'm just an emo for tonight.
We're just like the flying emos.
That's like my hat?
That's so funny.
Here, let me get some color. So you can
Jesus. So yeah, Inky Dinky Doo was the firstborn. No.
Enlil.
I'm sorry. Tonight's topic, and thank you, Ari, for enduring all of our pee talk. We are so mature. Me most of all.
It's just like church foreplay talk.
Yeah, it's.
It's
church foreplay talk. Interesting.
It's like when you go to church and before everything starts.
What were you doing in church?
Everyone has to like sit there.
Oh yeah, right.
Everyone's filtering in, and like everybody's sitting there like chatting about everybody.
No, realistically, we're the people outside the back of the church smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
I've been that person plenty of times. Praise the Lord, I don't smoke anymore. But that would be us, like sitting around the back, just like, oh shit, here it's about time to start. Let's go.
I'd always park in the upper parking lot.
You dropped our kids off at the little school. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
That was us. So glad that's done. All right, and Lil, let's. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up some basic information. Let's see. Let's see. I will. I'm just gonna read through the Britannica definition for Enlil. It's 3 paragraphs long. So we'll see what they have to say, and that should give us a base starting point. So this is from Britannica. Enlil, Mesopotamian god of the atmosphere and a member of the triad of gods completed by Anu and Enki. We've talked about the I've seen the triad most recently in Assassin's Creed. Enlil meant Lord Wind. Both the hurricane and the gentle winds of spring were thought to be the breath issuing from his mouth, and eventually, as his word or command, he was sometimes called Lord of the Air. Okay, real quick, just to address that, I don't think that these are spiritual things. I think they're aliens. We don't really worship them. We're just big fans and trying to spread the word and maybe find people who may or may not, who may feel the same or want to research and entertain this as well. Because something we're super into. Alright, so I don't know about this whole, the wind was his breath. It's like, I don't know if anyone really believes that.
Yeah, but like, if you've got a fucking wind cannon that makes like a tier 5 hurricane, right. Your breath be the wind, dog.
Right. Well, it's just weird that Britannica is even like naming it like this. Like, I don't understand that, because like, there are so many Sumerian tablets, just like the Greek tablets, that are talking about like, they're over there. You know what I mean? Like, I talked to this about my daughter. With my daughter just today, we were talking. I was like, we talk about the Anunnaki and stuff like that, but you do your thing. You find your own way, whatever. She was like, talking about how, some of the earliest things, like all early civilizations, having kind of those things in common, where it's like their earliest depictions show people coming down from the sky and then coming and creating them. Like, that is like a super common archetype that's found on almost every continent, and is like the root of where they start. But also, almost all the civilizations say that those people live right over there. You know what I mean? So it's like,
they always point to a building. Like, they legitimately point to.
Well, they would sometimes. Sometimes they would have directions like, this is where they lived. This was their house. It wasn't a place where they were worshipped, and people thought, well, maybe he's watching us. They were like, no, this motherfucker's at the tunnel, and we're about to bring him 40 sheep and a bunch of wine because he wants 40 sheep and wine. Like, that's the way they would talk about it.
It's like, he's fucking huge, dude. He needs 40 sheep.
Right. All right, let's see.
Close this door.
You
that
can.
as noisy that everybody else is to me.
You hear everything.
Yeah, our daughter out there going nuts. Summertime thug. Let's see.
Oh, the threes too.
The triads.
Yeah,
yeah.
Threes is a common number.
Yeah.
Too like that. When you said triads, I was like, oh, that's weird, because you've got like the Holy Ghost, in Christianity, the Ghost, the Father, the Son.
But it's interesting. I've not seen any reference. I've not seen Zachariah Sifton make anything out of the threes yet.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah,
it seems like it's pretty obvious because there's Anu and Lil and Enki.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Anu being obviously the father, and then they're
both
his sons, so.
Well, but it's interesting because in their hierarchy, they have their hierarchy. The way they do their ranks is 0 through 60, going in increments of 5. And On is 60, and his wife is ranked 55. And then Anu is 50, and his wife is, Enlil is 50, and his wife is 45. And then Enki and his wife.
Yeah.
So it's like, even in like the triad, Enki is below Enlil's wife and Anu's wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's like constantly a council of 12, and it wasn't like those 3 were at the top. They divided everything up gender wise. It was like very equal that way.
12?
Yeah. Equal-ish.
Mm-hmm. So 12.
Like 12
All the
apostles?
women are consistently 5 below their husbands.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. That's true. Equal-ish. You're right.
Equal-ish.
But as far as representation,
Yeah.
No, what were you asking?
Like the 12 apostles. Like there's 12 apostles.
It is repeated so many times. The 12 thing, almost all the pantheons at one point have a famous 12 gathering. And the Sumerians were in there, the Greek and Roman gods. There's this council of 12 that is, 12 apostles. It goes all throughout it.
And sometimes they'll have a 13th that randomly shows up in pantheons.
Right.
An extra one that you don't normally hear about. It's 13th.
And it's interesting seeing there are whole patterns on like how these people change out. like later on, and hopefully throughout this, I've got like spreadsheets and different things showing which gods were which. Like Enlil, we believe is Zeus, is commonly believed to be as Zeus. He's depicted as a storm god many times. He's got the bull is his animal of representation. Same as Enlil, same as Yahweh. Well, you know what? I want to look that one up actually. But anyway, so most assuredly Zeus. And then it's interesting. You'll see like these Sumerian characters like get introduced to the 12 and taken out of the 12. And you'll see the Greeks have like same exact stories where characters leave the 12 and get welcomed into the 12.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna keep on going. Let's see. Although An was the highest god in Sumerian pantheon, Enlil had the more important role as the embodiment of energy and force and authority. I don't know about more important. That's interesting. Enlil's cult center was Nippur. Enlil was also the god of agriculture. The myth of the creation of the hoe describes how he separated heaven and earth to make room for seeds to grow. He then invented the hoe and broke the hard crust of earth. Man sprang forth from the opening. The Sumerians do not believe that shit at all. Britannica, you're going crazy. They created humans in a lab, and there's long stories about it. Another myth relates Enlil's rape of his consort Ninlil. That is talked about. A grain goddess and his subsequent banishment to the underworld. He raped this human. She was like, "Please stop. Your penis is too big." Like that's like literally one of the oldest stories ever found.
Yeah, like literally original text. Those are the
really predates anything you'll find in Egypt, Greece, anywhere else. No, your penis is too big. But Enlil laid with her anyways. But when the Council of 12 found out, they were like, "Oh, bitch, you out of here, bro. You're done. You are banished. Fuck you. You're out of here."
But then he married her, so I'm not really sure what the fuck where their morals stand.
Yeah, well, it seems like they may have fallen in love after that. She went with him, apparently, during his banishment. And I imagine that would have had to have been willingly. I imagine if they were banishing him, and like for the human's sake, they would have been like, "Nope, leave the human, dumbass."
Yeah. I mean,
if they were trying to be just, but maybe not.
Maybe
I just know she went with them.
Was an opportunist, and she was like,
"Ooh,
this like god creature is like digging me." I mean, sure, his dick is as long as my whole entire body, but I feel like we could work with this.
If he's like Zeus, then he may have just magic. Fuck me.
Right. Do you like goats?
Yeah, like that is the funniest shit about Zeus.
Maybe that's like the Immaculate Conception shit.
Or maybe like hold on. What do you mean?
Maybe he found a way to like fuck her without fucking her.
Huh? Maybe.
He definitely.
Did they have children?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
They did. They had animal children. That's like.
Well, you're talking about. I'm not. You're talking about Enlil though.
Oh.
Are you talking about Zeus?
I was talking about Zeus.
Yeah. Zeus had a lot of weird legend around toward him. That's the thing. Sumerians had stuff like they would have like a lot of tales as stuff was happening and like records that were like supposedly up to date with the times. That's where a lot of Greek stuff is like retelling old tales about the gods, the 12 that live over yonder. Like, sound like talking about them. All right, let's see real quick. This myth reflects the agricultural cycle of fertilization, ripening, and winter inactivity. Listen, this myth talks about Enlil's penis is too big, literally. I think, Britannica, you got it wrong, okay? Like, I've heard the original Sumerian story. You're wrong, Britannica, and that's okay. Enlil was eventually replaced by Marduk, which took me forever to figure out. Like, I figured it out, but, like, trying to, like, place the gods. As a executive of the Babylonian pantheon, he continued to be extolled, however, as high god of Nippur until the end of the 2nd millennia BC. He remained an important deity there well into the next millennia. So, boom, that's what we got from Britannica. Boom, boom, boom. Talking about my mans here.
That sounded like an Americanization of the Enlil story.
It definitely did. That was definitely interesting. It makes me wonder though, like how often and when people started like applying these like fantasy aspects to these beings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like reading stories and they're like, oh, they would breathe the winds.
Well,
it's like, well, was that just like a poetic expression back then? Did they believe that?
Well,
like,
but you know, I think the reason why these things became gods, like what we think of as gods, is because a lot of stories do tend to like become more grandiose the more times you tell them.
Right,
you know,
right.
And if these are like generations long stories, you know, it's like first you tell the story to your kids, and your kids, you know, spice it up a little bit and pass it on, and
Right.
you know, and if that happens like 10, 20 times, like who even knows like what actually really happens?
That's true, and that's what I'm saying. That seems to be the difference between like the Greek gods telling and the Sumerians.
Yeah.
The Sumerians were like capturing a lot of the stuff in real time or relative time, as to where the Greeks were like recounting these magical stories about animals and likening them to, you know, anything they could like that.
Yeah.
Mischief, hello, how are you, sir?
Because these aren't like, when they were writing these down, they weren't like sacred texts at the time. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
No sacred text is a sacred text until some historian fucking finds it and interprets it and calls it a sacred text.
Right.
And really, like, wouldn't, like, there just be, like, a bunch of people around writing this shit down? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're, like, a philosopher-style thing in the past, you would have, like, a crowd of people listening to you, writing and taking notes on what you're saying. But then you'll have a bunch of people that now can spread that and it change the story. Like, how would you ever even know what the real one is?
Yeah, things would be much, much harder to dictate back then, for sure. Or like,
Yeah.
to verify, or like where it's coming from. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like, because I was, like, just thinking of, like, if, like, unless it was, like, a situation where one guy always talked to the god and no one else did, and I really highly doubt that's how it was. Like, I assume that, like, Enlil or any of them, if they were real people, they would have been talking to a bunch of people. Like, there would have been crowds listening to these massive people that came from the sky, right? Like, it wouldn't just be one guy.
I mean, maybe if they were even down to entertain that shit. Honestly.
You talking about like when the Anunnaki are talking and them taking records and stuff like that?
Yeah, like
I mean, they definitely talk in at different points in history. Have like royal scribes or different specific positions for people. Sorry, my mind is like I'm like got goosebumps over here, dude. Like y'all heard of the Code of Hammurabi, right? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of the oldest sets of laws. You know what? Let me read some accolades on it real quick. And you finish your point while I'm getting this up. I'm sorry.
I can't. I was just thinking. I was just like trying to think of something because it was like in my brain. Like, it's just weird to me that like if someone was writing down the story, I assumed that it wouldn't be one person. I assumed that there would be a bunch of people writing it down, and then like they would go back to their places, like because like. If a god landed in a place, most likely a bunch of major places would send important people to talk to them.
Right.
And they would go back and then they would share that story and then it would be spread in their place.
I don't know. I think a lot of it is just the humans telling what they understood it to be. I don't think they're given any instructions on what to put down. Because a lot of the way they describe things is like they clearly didn't know what they were talking about. Like the terms they use for like the spaceships, they just say metal birds. You know, they don't have the vocabulary even to say. Like these people were like working on some sort of like iPad device or a phone or something, but they call them tablets.
Yeah.
Which is what we use them, ironically enough. That's what we call like our iPads and stuff now.
They would use tablets that light up and work all the mechanisms around them.
And I was thinking like just like our language barriers, like if someone is speaking a language that can barely be translated to your language,
right.
Like how would you even know like and like a lot of times if you think of Christianity's style when they would talk about God speaking, it would be like this massive noise coming from wherever he's speaking from that was barely intelligible.
Yeah, like boom. Right.
Like it was like thunder cracks and crazy bullshit happening. That's how he spoke to people.
Well, and the newer the religion, the more you get to that kind of feeling. And let me see what she said here. I feel like gods are also generally seen as beings who don't care enough to deal with humans too often. unless for their own amusement of some sort to lay down some law. Because something upset them. So what I could see is why it's usually not the grand event of something happening where a lot of people were talked to at once. Right, well, and see, the thing is, the Sumerians get such a long history, like thousands and thousands of years of history. Egypt claims that Thoth ruled for like 12,000 years. So I just assume there's just all kinds of different circumstances, would be my opinion. You know, sometimes you're going to have a square full of people, or like a ship lands. It makes me wonder. I doubt that like surrounding villagers are gonna write down about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming that language was given by these same people. I mean, that's who they credit for. The Sumerians. I'm about to read something that's about to blow everyone's mind here in just a minute. But the Sumerians, they have a language, cuneiform, the very first language. It is undoubtedly the first one. And they're like, "Where'd you get it from?" Like, from these guys. They're over there. They're 17 foot tall. You know who I'm talking about. You see it? Look at him. The firebirds that fly around and people come out, you can't miss them. Yeah. And so now, okay, so I just found the Hammurabi's code because I knew that they mentioned, like, I wanted to think of an example of how people talked about their gods. And thank you for weighing in, Apollo, for real. I think you're right. But the way people would talk about their gods, not as some like idea, but as people. Yeah. Right over there. So, Code of Hammurabi, the short Wikipedia intro is, the Code of Hammurabi is a Babylonian legal text composed around 1750 BC. It is the longest, best organized, and well-preserved legal text from the ancient Near East. It is written in the Old Babylonian dialect of Akkadian, purportedly by Hammurabi, 6th king of the dynasty of Babylon. Okay. So it says, old-as cuneiform tablet rediscovered in 1901. Okay? I'm going to read the first thing that translates it, or let me see, this would be the third thing that translates it on whenever you Google search the Code of Hammurabi. And it's an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, you probably heard it at some point, right.edu, okay? Let's see, hold on. Oh no, that's not it. Okay. Sorry, I just had it pulled up. It had like a full thing on it. Dun, 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 dun. So sorry, guys. Okay. So this is law.yale.edu. Okay? So feel free to check it out. Law is like the third thing down on Google whenever you look up Code of Hammurabi. I'm like shaking. Look at this right now. This is crazy. Okay, sorry. If this doesn't mean anything to you, I'm sorry. Okay, this is how it begins. Before it goes into the law, there's a prologue. Here it is, okay? Okay, here we go. When Anu the Sublime, king of the Anunnaki, and Baal, the lord of heaven and earth, who decreed the fate of the land assigned to Marduk, the overruling son of Ea, god of righteousness, dominion over earthly man, and made him great among the Agigi, they call Babylon by his illustrious name, made it great on earth and founded an everlasting kingdom in it, whose foundations are laid so solidly as those of heaven and earth. Then Anu and Bel called by name he, Hammurabi, the exalted prince, who feared God, to bring about the rule of righteousness in the land, to destroy the wicked and evildoers, so that the strong should not harm the weak, so that I should rule over the black-headed people like Shamash and enlighten the land, to further the well-being of mankind. These are all Anunnaki, these 18-foot tall alien gods or alien beings that came to rule over them, and they're just once again talking about them like they're real ass people. Hammurabi the prince called a Baalamai, making riches and increase, enriching Nippur and Duriya beyond compare, sublime patron of Ekur, who reestablished Eridu and purified the worship of Iapsu, who conquered the four quarters of the world, made great the name of Babylon, rejoiced the heart of Marduk, his lord who pays daily his devotions to Sagai, the royal scion whom Sin made, who enriched which is the land that Abraham came from, if y'all didn't know. Well, I'm sorry, that didn't mean to sound condescending when I said that. Abraham, the biblical patriarch in the Bible, is from the land of He is a Sumerian. Oh, hello, Billy and everyone else. How are y'all? The humble, the reverent, who brings wealth to Girgashir, the white knight herd of Shamash, a Shamash, the mighty who laid the foundations of Sapara, who clothed the gravestones of Malkat with green, who made Evobar great. And it just goes, hold on. It gives them a bunch of names and stuff. Let's see. So he's just giving, just saying thank you. And he's naming all these motherfucking, these Anunnaki by name. All these Anunnaki that we've been talking about this whole time. The Code of Hammurabi is just like going through.
That's interesting.
And then near the end it says, when Marduk sent me to rule over men, to give me protection of right to the land, I did right and righteousness in, and brought about the well-being of the oppressed. So this is a law that he's saying is like directly given to him by these other people who came down. It wasn't like a long forgotten concept with priests, you know what I mean? He's like, these people over here who are really doing this shit.
Interesting.
And then it goes on to, give
And who wrote the Hammurabi?
Well, it's supposed to, I'll go back up to the Wikipedia here. He was just saying there that he himself did it, the Prince Hammurabi himself. But he gives all credit to being told to do it by the gods.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
by the Anunnaki themselves.
Yeah.
He's like, they entrusted me to write this, and here I'm writing this on their behalf.
Yeah.
Because he's giving me the right to rule over this land, so I'm gonna tell y'all his law. And Horizon, hello.
Yeah,
Hope your
hello,
PC's doing
everybody.
good. Y'all down there bombing everybody. And Murasabe, look, everybody just showed up when I wasn't looking.
Yeah.
I was over here reading the Code of Hammurabi, which is one of the oldest legal codes. It's almost 4,000 years old, guys, and they give direct credit to these guys. Like these guys lived down the road, and this is what they said to do. Like that's like the whole spirit of the Code of Hammurabi, like before the law started.
I'd almost wonder if it was like, there's like a little bit of fear in there. Like this big old fucking dude just walk up and be like, look, here's the laws. You write them down.
Right. Well, at some point there's different relationships. They write for. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say that's actually like kind of reminiscent of Moses with the Ten Commandments. He like went up to the mountain and like spoke directly to God, and was like, God was like, these are the rules, don't break them, and he wrote them down and brought them down to the people.
But see, that's just 10 Commandments. This right here is like, he's like, here's a whole city and technology, and he's like helping out Hammurabi, and he's like, here's 200 some plus laws.
Yeah.
There's like tax laws and like marriage laws and like
this is
how to deal with the
Way
widow.
more detailed, yeah.
Like it's like how to run a government essentially. Like this is your governmental law. It's like
It's just crazy to see him give direct credit at the beginning. Like I had no idea. You know what I mean? I've looked at this a few different times. Like the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest things on the planet. It is the first Noah story. Go ahead, dude.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
I actually wanted to bring that up before. I don't know, from back to what Apollo said earlier, I don't know of any stories of the Anunnaki like speaking to the crowds, taking the time to speak to a large amount of people at a time. But they did seem to take on they had favorite humans. Like they be like, I don't know if they was befriending or maybe they viewed him more as a pet. I don't really know.
Well, there seemed to be this weird evolution throughout the years of their relationship. From pet worker to eventually holy shit, independent.
And some of them they married and had children with and stuff. But
gave immortality to.
Yeah. There's the Epic of Gilgamesh speaks of a deluge story, like Noah and the Ark, and the Sumerians had the same kind of story, where there was a great flood. They were experiencing the ice caps were melting on the planet, and it created this huge flood. Was it Enki that saved the Noah character?
Yes.
And what did I call him?
Ziasudra.
Ziasudra. Yeah. And all the other gods all the other Anunnaki got mad at him for saving him.
Well, he has a lot of mixed feelings, but if you're familiar with the Genesis story of Noah and you read the end of the Epic of Gilgamesh, it's accessible everywhere. But if you're familiar with Genesis story of Noah and you read that, it's like, holy shit, this is like pretty much the same story. Only instead of one god, it's multiple gods with different names. And, you know, some of them are okay with it, some of them are not. And that's what I'm trying, you know, I'd love to, find out, like, the divides. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how we went from being, like, this worker-slave race. You know, the earliest stories of when we were created was that we weren't able to reproduce. So we go from, like, being able to not reproduce to being upgraded to, like, stop being workers to integrating with them to...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a great mystery.
Think they grew kind of attached after they built us.
I have a curious question about the Anunnaki stuff.
Yes, sir.
When in the stories of them like talking and stuff, is it normally one person talking or like a bunch of them talking at once?
Is as wide a variety as Netflix has.
Okay, because I was curious because I was thinking about Christian stories, right? And normally it is not God talking to them. It is an angel that he sends or multiple angels that he sends. And I was wondering if that's like a weird parallel that those angels are like the other people in the Anunnaki.
I think it's a possibility. I mean, they do. Zechariah Sitchin refers to the Nephilim, which are the angels, in the Bible as
the giant
that were not winged fucking baby perfect people. They were giant, multi-eyeballed, multi-winged things.
Yeah, like I think those were like some rank of Anunnaki. By the way, and I wanted to clear this up when you were reading the Hammurabi shit. I mentioned the Agigi, which at first when I was reading through all this stuff, I thought that the Agigi was a separate race. But it sounds to me, the more I read about it, the more I realize there are ranks among this species of alien. And the Anunnaki is actually not the name of their species.
Right.
It's translated to the ones that are like residing on the earth.
Anu's family. Those of Anu. I mean, it's got his name in the beginning. It's how I always remember how to spell it.
Oh, so it's like a family name.
And then A-K-I.
It's like you're like, you know, it's like you come from this place, or like when they would name you after your father's work or whatever.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, and
that's sure what it seems like.
The Agigi were just the ones that apparently they've got some sort of spaceport thing that is in our orbit, and they're kind of like watching over our planet from orbit. And that's who the Agigi are.
Kind of like the Justice League.
Yeah.
Right.
It's weird that the Justice League watches over from space and they are a council of 12.
Oh, that is interesting. That is.
I'm not sure how many Agigi there's supposed to be.
Might be somebody in the know. Yeah, well, there's like a big long story with the Agigi. I actually just got back through it. I'm rereading through Zechariah Sitchin, who's one of the leading sources on all of this. And he was talking a lot about how the Agigi were here for a long time, and they assembled a strike. They were tired of working, and Anu even came down, and then Lil just wanted to like fuck him up. Apparently, at first, he was like personally offended by it. But they do talk to him like he's a layered character. You know what I mean? Like he thought about it. He talks with Ea about it. The Anu comes down, his dad and commander. You know, and he's like, and Anu, his dad's like, no, hear him out. Strike some kind of deal, figure something out, and then later on, it's like Inky could make a subservient race. He can make a race of people that are like bred, made out of the local stuff. What are you laughing about?
I was just like unlike God, who would be like, I still want to do it. Let me just make it so it's his fault that I do it. And they harden his heart, so I gotta kill all those children.
I know, right?
Like that was God's method. Is like, well, they fucked with me, but I don't want to just do something to them.
That's
let
funny.
me make one of them fuck me again directly.
No, that's funny. Okay, and one thing I wanted to touch on, as far as like the Bible goes, and the Bible is okay. The Abrahamic religions, were Judaism truly, and then the religions that spring from them, Christianity, Catholicism, and Islam, they all start with the patriarch Abraham. He is the first person who leaves Sumeria, technically the land of Ur. But Abraham leaves the land of Sumeria, and what we don't get a lot of, though, with the Christian Bible, like, it looks like one God, right? It's like, in the beginning, God created the world, but But the Jewish word is Elohim. I'm not a Jewish specialist or anything. A Jewish specialist. I'm not a Jewist.
Jewist.
If you would.
A geographer?
I'm not a geographer.
In the original Hebrew that the Old Testament was written in, there's actually like multiple names.
Lots of names for God, and they're all just like thrown together to say one thing. But Elohim is the first use of God for the first whole 2 chapters. Exactly. Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is plural, and not only is it plural, it encompasses the male and the female. So, like, more specifically, it's like it's a group of people that is multi-gendered. It's a multi-gendered group of people.
Because Elohim is
There's a bunch.
Plural.
There's a bunch throughout the Bible. It is, and we created the world, and we saw that it was good. Now, so it's like, but. So connecting the dots of Christianity back to the beginning, it's like, well, you got to look at Christianity very objectively too, and like reconsider the translations. Like, what does it mean? What are they saying? And actually, the Epic of Gilgamesh is why I love it so much. Because for me, I've not found anything else, and I've looked, and I'm not saying that means that there's not, but I've not found anything else that connected the Abrahamic religions to the Greek religions. I've not found anything. I'm like, I don't understand. You know, there's kind of like some characteristics of Yahweh in these other characters, but the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is the oldest shit, like the oldest epic ever written, we have it, Sumerian. It connects it. Enlil is clearly the Zeus character. There's like hundreds of stories that make it very clear that he is the Zeus character, who that is modeled after. And he is 100% easily identifiable as Yahweh in that story of the first original flood story. So it connects these seemingly unconnectable religions, you know.
And I think what happened, my personal theory on what happened with the Judaic religions is, I think Enlil probably got like kind of the big head about his position in the planet because he had like a lot of followers and stuff. And you know, the kind of ongoing theme that you see with Yahweh is like he's like a jealous God, and he's like, hey, you can't worship all these other gods. I'm the only one
Right,
that
it's
can
me.
worship. And it's like reading it from a Christian or even a Jewish perspective, it's like, why are you worried about all these other gods if you're the only one?
Right, if it's so
if
goddamn
there's nothing
evident.
else out there,
I wondered that when I saw the
what is there to
Bible.
worry about?
In the Bible, back in the day, we were Christians for a long time. We have love for our Christians brothers and sisters, for sure. But it was like, okay, so what about the gods in Egypt that made snakes out of staffs, though?
Right, like
and it's like you're like admitting many times that there's like other gods in the world. Can I get some more info on them? Like, I won't worship them, I promise. But can I hear some more about?
Like
I might
Yahweh
worship them.
It's like self-admitting that like he's not the only one, but he's the only one that he wants his followers to worship.
Right. Like don't follow the other thing like me. It's bad.
Yeah, because like even I was looking to, because I was curious what the singular was. The singular is Eloah.
Eloah?
Yeah.
Interesting. I've heard El.
Yeah, that they said that's another. I was looking at how many names were there for the 7 for God in the Hebrew words. And Elohim, Adonai, Ahei. That's the only way I can pronounce that.
Nice. Jehovah, Shalom.
Shaddai.
Yep, Shaddai or
Sevote. And then Yahweh, or for some reason YHWH.
Yeah.
Because the name is sacred and you're not allowed to spell it out with vowels.
Bullshit.
Because that's blasphemy.
Bull fucking shit.
Well, yeah, it depends. Well, it depends on who's writing it out. I'm trying to think of what the reason was for that. Why they would leave out the vowels. But in Israel, they will do that. You'll see signs that say "Praise God," and then but they'll have like a symbol instead of O. It'll be like a dash.
Yeah, it's a Jewish thing. It's to not disrespect the name of God.
I bet only the high priest can write it.
I don't
even think they're supposed to.
Yeah, it's like it's considered disrespectful to actually write out the whole name.
I'm curious now who in the Jewish faith can write God's name.
Yeah, look it up. I don't know, and that's why the Jews definitely fascinate me.
Yeah, they're strange.
Because they are Sumerians. They're an interesting people group with an interesting history. Yeah. These motherfuckers are directly from where they're at. So, yeah, who knows?
Yep. Only the high priest in the temple, specifically only if he is in the temple of Jerusalem, which doesn't exist anymore. So essentially, no one can say it.
Can even say it? Is that what you're saying?
Write it out. I mean.
Like write it out. Yeah, like they can't. Only the high priest is the one that can write it out in the temple, like in the original temple that doesn't exist anymore.
They're rebuilding it. I'm pretty sure it's already been argued that temple is sitting on top of like the biggest mosque.
This is
the Dome of the Rock.
This
Yeah.
is.
I just read that yesterday, actually. Yeah.
See, but that's the thing. This is the whatever ship problem. Is it still the same temple if you replace all the bricks?
I don't know. There's a lot of interesting back and forth. Just recently, like a few years ago, they were like, you know what, guys? Our temple isn't actually on that place where the Dome of the Rock is. It's actually it's right over there. We've had it wrong this whole time, guys. Let's start building this temple. We don't have to take down the Mecca Mosque, Dome of the Rock place here. It's actually, conveniently, we were just wrong. It's over there.
Oh my god, this is my religion stupid.
Nice workaround. Nice. And apparently, this is going to be a very inclusive temple. Your dad's very worried about this temple.
Yeah.
It's a mega temple?
Yeah, they're it's like it's all inclusive of like all the religions. Yeah.
Yep.
It's an Abba's house.
Well, and they've already also talked about weird old artifacts of antiquity that are going to be used in it. Like there's this big huge golden globe thing that they're going to be used.
We cannot let them do this.
They
are making.
There's a lot of people who don't want this to happen.
Do you remember when I went to the moon and turned the moon into a crazy bullshit with a bunch of magical artifacts? That's what they're doing.
Oh, that's hilarious. It took me a minute. I was like, no, I don't remember.
This is what you do with magical items.
Right. Well,
we gotta stop.
Is this a D&D thing?
It happens in a lot of things where you'll use magical special artifacts and different things to infuse into this new bigger thing that you're making to make it more powerful.
Right.
Yeah, and them hoes would just throw up some tents somewhere. They'd be like, God is here. Yeah. Throw up that tent, baby. Let's go.
Like carrying around a giant golden chest.
Yeah, but one of they're like, the Dome of the Rock, though, is it's one of the most important places to the Islam faith. And it is right inside of Israel. And allegedly, for the longest time, it was thought to be where the old temple was. Like I said, it was only a few years ago when they're like, guys, it's actually over there.
Yeah,
it's over there. We were wrong.
I gotta say, people in the past had to have been built different. I want you to imagine an 80-year-old man carrying these 2 stone tablets down a mountain. That's how old Moses was when he carried. I had to look it up earlier. How old was he when he carried the tablets down the mountain?
Right.
80
years old carrying these big ass.
Boom, built.
Life was different back then, though. We're soft now.
They hiked for fucking.
I was gonna say they're way more active than we are now.
They walked everywhere.
They're probably eating a lot more whole foods.
Nothing had preservatives in it.
Yeah, it's I don't know, kind of makes sense.
It is hilarious because your dad told me that whenever he was little, he would watch videos of Jewish soldiers running to what was called the Wailing Wall. It's like this, or excuse me, it has lots of names, but it's like the foundation stone for the Temple of Jerusalem. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing videos of it.
And so when your dad was telling me that, and then being like, well, apparently that wasn't the wall. There's all these videos of people running up to the wall and gunfire, just and then run back and get back to fighting. You know what I'm saying? And that was I hope nobody tells them. That's all I'm saying.
Well, see that, and that's the thing is where if putting thought into faith makes something a thing, now that wall is something.
What's that?
It's if you put the faith into it, that wall became something else, even if it wasn't that wall.
Right, yeah. That became the kissing wall. Yeah. God bless y'all.
Kiss that wall.
I'm glad y'all are good.
It's why is it called the kissing wall? People make it out.
Oh, okay, sorry. I done got so off track here. I'm looking at all this stuff in Israel. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, that makes sense because going up a mountain, it's you becoming closer to your thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time they go up to the mountaintop to like have to be like in solitude with God or whatever. And I guess that's like a high priest thing to do. I'm not really sure.
I just always enjoyed in those stories, like the Moses story, when he goes up the mountain, he's gone for days, like a week or so. Immediately, everyone loses faith and starts worshiping a different idol.
A fucking golden bull.
Immediately, a golden bull. Didn't you say
Moses
was a bull thing?
Shut up.
Didn't you say that earlier?
I did. Wow.
I never.
What?
Moses comes down from the mountain.
Because he said that earlier that they depicted Enlil as a bull sometimes.
Yeah.
And that is what they would work. Like, there's a bunch of different times in the in the Bible where they mention them worshiping bulls.
Well, but
Like a golden bull.
Yahweh supposedly Enlil, and Yahweh like hates the bull god. So does that make Yahweh not Enlil?
I don't know, bro. My mind is kind of blown right now. I got the
But
Bible.
yeah, that's a good point. Like a bull was like
I just always.
super popular for being like the false gods in the Bible. Like,
And it was always so weird to me. Every story was like that, where it's like, man, they lost faith instantly. It's like the guy that was telling us stuff left. Good lord, I don't know what to do.
Right.
Fuck, let's worship this bull.
I mean, you're just like hanging out in the desert. For
It's
like
raining
a
too
long
hard.
time.
Worship
You get
the
bored.
bull.
You gotta worship something.
Oh shit! It's
Or maybe there was like an actual like 17-foot tall guy that showed up in the desert while Moses was up in the mountains.
Had a
and
cooler
like,
story.
Was like, hey guys.
Yeah, he looked cooler. He had fancier shit. Moses had no shoes on,
Like-
a fucking ratty ass cloak.
What if he just like did it to like fuck with Enlil? It's like, yeah, he's really gonna piss him off. He hates it when we do this.
Because I mean, really though, if you were following a guy in a ratty ass looking cloak, who just left up a mountain like a crazy fucking madman, and then this giant blue guy walks by with a fucking glowing tablet screen and a fancy flying ship.
Look over like, oh yeah, you okay? All right,
You're
yep.
cool.
Hey guys,
You're-
you follow me now. Make a bowl.
Whatever you need, yes, Lord.
Enlil hates bowls.
That is.
What happens when he comes
I got
back
it.
down?
Exodus 32.
Yeah, I don't
I got
remember
you.
what happens when he comes back down, because I think
Oh, it's
God
hilarious.
gets mad and
What
kills a
happens?
bunch of them.
No. What happens is Moses comes down and he has the tablets in his hand, the 10 Commandments.
80-year-old man.
And he gets pissed off that they did this. And so he smashes the tablets, he melts down the idol of the bull that they made, and he mixes the gold in with water, and he makes them drink it.
Right.
Hold on, are you sure about that?
Yes.
Well, I had it pulled up right here. I was about to
Moses
look
was
at
a
it.
dick, guys.
Well, he does end up ordering the Levites to kill like 5,000
That's what I thought.
people.
They
There's
killed a
like a
bunch.
Yeah, I
great
think
killing of
probably
people.
there was death involved.
Because, like,
too.
I mean, if
All right, let's see what we got here.
they don't convert, bruh.
Aaron had the people take off all their earrings, and he melted them down and cast them into the shape of a calf. And some other places and translations have said bull calf.
I always saw bull.
It's like a When Aaron saw the all the festival of the Lord.
So wait, Aaron, the guy,
brother who couldn't talk great. Yo, ripped redneck, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
Aaron.
that. I hope you're doing
thank
great in
you.
your subathon, man. Kudos to you.
Shit.
Thank you for stopping
I
by.
never realized that it was his brother that.
Yeah, Aaron is Moses' brother. Although they weren't raised together. It's his biological brother.
Yeah. Bro.
Oh,
Look at
thanks,
you, you
thank
baller.
Wow.
You get out of here,
Thank
making
you.
it rain on us. That's too
nice.
kind of you, man. You're out here doing the most.
How
I appreciate
ripped
it.
are you?
He's pretty ripped, man. I'll be honest. Everybody go follow Ripped Redneck. He's such a nice dude. It's so fun watching. I'll just pop on every now and again. This guy's chatting it up, having fun. And he's been doing a subathon now for over a week, so everybody should definitely give him some love. Thank you, man. Dome regato, my Ripped Redneck friend. Woohoo, slap hands. That's what I hear in my head. One of my dear redneck
such a-
friends. Yeah, one of my best pals. Welcome and welcome to our cult. I mean, you're pretty much a member now. Jesus Christ. I'm just kidding. Thank you, man. How are you, sir? How's your subathon going? Okay, so let me see. He melted. So they made this golden calf.
Yeah.
So homie came down there.
Broke the rocks.
Yep. Let's see.
I just gotta say, Moses was a dick. He was an asshole. You remember
Yeah.
the time he got mad and slapped a rock and it made an endless fount of water that flooded a place?
Yeah. Better to hit a rock than hit a person.
Yeah, that would suck. Donk.
Yeah.
Water just comes out of your knees. Fuck.
Will do, sir. Will do, and enjoy that day off, man. Kudos to you. I'm definitely. Everybody go give Rip Redneck a follow and feel free to jump into his stuff. Take that day off for the mental health.
That, dude.
Thank you for blessing us, brother. And for real, get yourself some time. We stream twice a day here, Monday through Friday, 10:45 on. We have 2 things we do: a little show like this, or music or whatever, and then we move on and do gaming. StrangeTrees.live has the music video, Spotify, and all that stuff. So help yourself if you like, and welcome. All right, so he approached the camp. Let's see. He took the calf people had made and burned it in the fire. He ground it into powder, scattered it in drink, and made the Israelites drink it.
Wow.
Told you.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like they left that part out when I heard this in church.
Strange and unusual punishment.
That is savage.
I
Yeah.
don't remember that part.
And drink gold. Drinking their fucking earrings. And then he immediately had to go back up the mountain and get new tablets because he smashed the originals.
So really, we don't know what the original commandments were. They might have been changed by the time, because he probably went back up and he was like, God, they started worshiping that dude again. God was like, all right, kill him.
All right,
Really?
it's better
He
than that.
could've
Listen
just,
to this. Listen to this,
pretended
okay?
to go up there and just made some shit up and be like, I'm making the rules now.
Check it out. Here we go, guys. This is Exodus chapter, let me see, what is it, 31? I'm sorry, Exodus chapter 32.
Okay.
Verses 21 we'll go through 29. And he said to Aaron, if you saw Prince of Egypt, this was his brother who couldn't talk so good, or Moses couldn't talk so good, so Aaron actually spoke for him. I guess that's not really shown in the Prince of Egypt. He said to Aaron, what did these people do to you that you led them into such great sin? And then he said, do not be angry, Aaron said. You know how prone these people are to evil. They said to me, make us gods who will go before us. As for this fellow Moses who has brought us up out of Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him. So I told him, whoever has any jewelry, take it off. And they gave me the gold and I threw it into the fire. And out came this calf. So this motherfucker just starts lying. He's like,
he's straight lying.
This sounds like my son. My son's silent would be like, man, they took all that gold and a calf walked out. Moses saw that the people were running wild and Aaron had let them get out of control and so become a laughing stock to their enemies. He's like, bro, I'm so goddamn embarrassed right now. So he stood at the entrance and said to the camp, whoever is for the Lord, come to me. And all the Levites rallied to him. I was right, the Levites.
Yeah.
Then he said to them,
God, right?
they were like the priest caste.
Right, yes.
Of the Israelites.
There were 12 tribes of Israel, and the Levites were just one of the tribes.
Yes,
right?
yes, and the book of Leviticus is the book of the Levites, or like their code and all this stuff. Yeah, the son of Levi. Yes. Yeah. He says. Then he said to them, "This is what the Lord, the God, has said. Each man strap a sword to his side. Go back and forth through the camp from one end to the other, each killing his brother and friend and neighbor." The Levites did as Moses commanded, and that day about 3,000 of the people died.
That is rough, dude.
Yeah,
Then Moses said,
that's the Bible.
Then Moses said, "You have been set apart to the Lord today, for you were against your own sons and brothers, and yet he has blessed you this day."
So
You're welcome, you little pieces of shit.
All-loving God.
So I can
Of the
vividly
Bible.
remember hearing these stories, like that story especially, because you just heard it so much in church. Like they would retell the same fucking things over and over every few
Most churches I was in left that story out.
Yeah, no.
I don't ever remember a preacher talking about the Levites going and killing their friends and brothers and shit.
Yeah.
They
Not my
leave those
church.
parts out.
Or the churches I was at.
Because
Yeah.
I don't remember them. I don't remember the bit of them burning the calf down and to ash and putting it in drinks. They left.
That's
that part
crazy.
out.
Yeah.
The sword thing. The only reason I knew people died because I remember in what's the history class, Bible history or whatever in school that we had. that teacher was not a Christian guy. He was a fucking atheist, and he taught that class legit.
Love that.
Yeah, because he was teaching literally biblical history, not Christian bullshit.
Right.
So it's like, does Moses know that Aaron's full of shit when he said a golden calf walked out?
I mean,
Or was that shit possible? You know what I mean?
maybe it did. I mean, fuck, if there was other gods like it kind of alludes to, he probably threw it in there and went, well, what god do I know of that likes gold? Okay, this one.
But to say the calf walked out, that is so bold, Aaron. Like, how dumb? I guess they done seen some shit at this point.
I'm also...
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, Moses was the guy that turned their staff into the snake and shit like that, you know? So, like...
Releasing plagues and
maybe
shit.
he was just, like, banking on the notion that, like, it's like, I could go do cool stuff, too.
I always enjoy the staff to snake one is a funny one to me because it's always the one that in like avenues where they show like trickery magic, someone will do that trick.
Right.
Like there'll always be a guy that can do that easily. It's just like, yeah, you have a snake in your fucking bootleg.
Well, that's what's funny about the one in the Bible is like they make two snakes, and then God makes his Aaron's snake staff a snake, and it's like, okay, but you're not really one upping them here, bro. Like they made a snake, you made a snake. Like that was your chance to make like a dragon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't call their bet. Like
you turned a stick into a snake. He made a snake from what? Nothing.
I don't know. I don't remember how their priests made theirs. I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember now. I know that his snake did devour their snakes.
Yeah.
Well,
and then,
as
but then
shown
he,
in the
like,
Prince of Egypt.
And then he like
Yes,
put his hand
the
into
greatest
his
movie.
cloak, and when he pulled it out, it was like covered in leprosy. But they were able to do that too.
Yeah.
And they were pretty much able to like match everything that he was doing.
So
like
much of the stuff, like they turn
turning
the
water
river
into
red, and they're like,
blood.
bro, we got this. We do this shit.
Yeah,
we
they
about
did
this
that
life,
shit too.
man.
Yeah.
the snake thing is silly because that's just like, oh, what if they made a garden snake and then he made a black mamba? Of course the black mamba's gonna win that fight. It's like, I just made a little baby snake. I didn't want to hurt no one. You made the fucking crazy thing because you're fucking crazy.
I turned it into a mongoose. Mongoose versus snake.
I've always wondered if that's like a thing. Like mongoose and cobras really like fucking fight that often.
So
I think they do. I feel like I've seen a video of a mongoose and a snake fight. Like I'm pretty positive.
So-
I mean, there's that famous
Am I
story
tripping?
of the island where they released the snakes to kill the things, and they had to release the mongooses to kill the snakes.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure this is a real thing. Like,
Mongoose.
like I remember there
First
being a
thing,
class-
mongoose versus snake.
I remember
Oh
this-
yeah, there's all
like-
kinds of
There's
videos.
just like mortal enemies.
7 battle brutal moments of mongoose versus snake. Wow.
So I have a curious question.
Nice.
Was a lot of the tricks that they all like, you know, a lot of the magic that they show in the Bible, or what would they call them?
The miracles.
Miracles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was it just changing something into something else? Because that's not magic, that's alchemy.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it
That's
was,
equivalent
but
exchange.
some of it was like kind of unexplainable. Like when Jesus brought Lazarus back to life, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, unless
That's
that bitch
still-
never really died.
Yeah, what if
The crazy-
what if Jesus was just a really good doctor?
I mean,
Well, he healed a lot of people. He like made people like blind people be able to see again, and like he healed a bunch of people with leprosy, supposedly. But once
Right.
again, this is all like hearsay. It's like unless the person writing the story was actually there to see it and is like being honest about what the fuck he saw. It's
And
like who the fuck knows what
the thing
actually.
and there's lots of histories of lots of miracle workers throughout time. He's not the only character or even the earliest character to walk around giving sight to the blind, making lame people walk and stuff like that. He was like,
And like also if you're a showman and you hide it all with fancy hand movements and bullshit, then they won't know what you're really doing.
yeah, the most badass motherfucker in the Bible, the one that I'd want the powers of, is Elijah.
Oh.
Yeah.
This bitch on several occasions, he was known for just making fire rain down on motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like there was 3 times. It's like one of the funniest stories ever. I'm not. It gets long, and they're all connected. They all run into one each other. Elijah and Elisha, both of them are just such interesting characters. But there's one time where the Queen of Sheba sends. I'm pretty sure it's the Queen of Sheba. I'll have to look that up. But a queen sends for Elijah. I'll double check that Sheba part in a minute. And she sends a platoon of 50 men, and he says, "Nah," and burns them all with fire from the sky. Yo, it's Hungry Jeff. What's up? Burns them to a crisp from the sky, right? 50. She sends another squad of 50. He says, "Nah," burns them up from fire from the sky. Sends a third squad of people, and he's like, "Alright." I'm like,
Well,
bro,
he ran out.
bro, right?
Why?
That's so you still win, bitch. Like, what happened? Like that famous story. A lot of people have probably heard in the church where they're like, "Prove your God is the better God," and so they like build altars, and he soaks his in water and all this shit, and like he still gets his to burn, and the other people can't get theirs to burn.
Yeah.
That is directly after that beautiful, happy, hunky story about how Elijah makes the altar burn when the other people can't. That's followed up by when he roasted 2 or maybe even 3. I know at least 2 platoons of 50 soldiers. And then on the third try, he's like, "Okay."
So funny.
He straight discovered a new ability that day when he burned that altar. He was like, "Holy shit, I can create fire!"
He's like, "This is lit."
What if it works on people?
Oh my god, it's like a warlock gaining their powers.
Right. He's like, "I gotta check this out, bro."
It's like, oh, and he only had 3 uses. He only had 2 uses per day, so he couldn't use it anymore.
Elijah answered the captain, "If I'm a man of God, may the fire come down from the heaven and consume you and your 50 men." Then fire fell from heaven and consumed the captain and his men.
Oh.
Then they sent another 50 men, and the same thing happened. Yep, okay, it happened. So the king sent a third party. "Man of God," he begged, "please have respect for my life and the lives of these 50 men, your servants." So fire has fallen from heaven and consumed the first 2. Please spare us. And then the angel of the Lord said to Elijah, "Go down with them. Do not be afraid of them." So Elijah went down.
See, an angel was talking to him there.
That is so
Always,
funny.
it's always, it's like God barely ever really talked to people. It was always angels, I thought. I think he only talked to Moses, right?
Well, it gets, I don't know. It's hard to say, but there's a lot of the angel of the Lord was in the bush, or an angel called down. Let's see. Now I'm trying to think of people who may have talked directly toward him. Samuel, I believe Samuel was communicated directly, who was hearing his voice and sleeping. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But angel of the Lord, there was very commonly, people sent to take him, like to deliver messages.
Because like every story I remember is always like, if you saw God, you die. Your face would blast off because the vision of him, you wouldn't be able to even take it in.
Right. Well, when Moses comes down from the mountain, they're like, "Your face is so radiant. It looks so good and so shiny."
There was at one point that people started doubting whether Moses was even going up there to talk to God, and so they were like, "If God is really up there, like, why doesn't he just like speak to us directly?" And Moses was like, "Because you can't handle it." And they were like, "Bet."
Oh, you're right.
And so, like, God proves himself and, like, starts speaking to the people, and his voice is so loud, they, like, literally were, like, covering their ears, like, "Don't let God speak to us!"
Go away and talk to God.
Man, I tried to look it up, like, to find out who did, and it just gives me spiritual bullshit.
Right.
Everyone can talk to God. You just gotta know how to fucking listen.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Timmy. It turns out that everyone can talk to Christ. If you allow him into your heart and your butthole. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That's so uncalled for. I'm sorry. All right. Well, this has been fun. We got kind of off topic.
Yeah, a little bit.
We had a ripped redneck come in here and gift us 5 subs. Mwah, beautiful man. Go fucking follow that guy. Thank you guys for all the feedback. Ari, Apollo, Morisabe, and the rest. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. Just thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out. Is there anything else you want to say about Enlil?
No, I mean, I feel like this has been productive.
I enjoyed the
We
history
got a
lesson.
little off topic, but yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, some are more productive than others, and this stream, at least, it keeps me thinking about it throughout the week and researching throughout the week so we can bring new stuff and talk.
Yeah.
Guys, if you want to join our cult, it's easy to do. All you have to do is say, "I want to join your cult," And the first 5 cult members, once we get our 5th one, get a free T-shirt. I'm gonna send you a free ass T-shirt if you become part of the cult of Anu. So no pressure, but there is things to gain.
Hey, and
like a nice threaded T-shirt, not a crappie. Only I can crop it for you.
If you want a crappie, we can make a crappie.
I can make
whatever.
You a crappie.
Hey, but real quick, I'm gonna plug us real quick. I'm trying to up our YouTube followers. If you can go to strangetrees.live and go to our YouTube and just subscribe to our YouTube. I am trying so hard to get more. Our Twitch is doing okay. Our YouTube is lacking. So, yeah, that'd be so cool. But anyways, yeah, thanks for joining us. And
For real,
yeah,
thank you.
The input and stuff has been great.
Thank you so much, guys. And that would really help. We're trying to get Twitch is really the only people paying us, and it's not a whole lot. But if we get our subscribers on YouTube up, it definitely helps the algorithm, so you can help us out, and we'll be able to keep streaming like this past the new year. But guys, thank you so much for being here. I will be going live again about 12:45. So in about 30 minutes, I'll be going live again and doing some Final Fantasy. Gonna create a free company. Come fuck with us. I'm gonna send y'all over to Insomnia Night RPG. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Go follow Afrotorius as well. His profile is in strangetrees.live. You go on there. It's right there. It'll be so easy to find. All the love to you guys. Mwah. Bye.
Peace.
Boom, 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 boom.